First little mistake, got to bring out the hammer and I'll show you why. I'm not sure if this bed's trying to be more than what it really should be. So hello everyone, welcome to my allotment. This is my allotment looking down there from a few hundred feet, and as you can see, that one little space is the only space I've got that will take a new raised bed. So I'm going to go on Amazon and look for the cheapest raised bed on Amazon. So here we are on Amazon and we're just going to type in there raised beds. I want the cheapest raised bed that I can find, and basically I'm after something the size of a meter, something a little bit bigger, a little, you know, around that size. And just having a look there, I don't want to spend all my time searching for beds that will be just tiny, you know. It's got to be a kind of like a meter, you know. These beds there are just, you know, there's umpteen, so there's no really reason to go for that. That's not the raised bed allotment that you think of. I want more, that's a raised bed that you can kind of put on the ground and, you know, work it like a proper raised bed. This is more like a planter raised bed that would contain one plant, and that's not really what I'm, there you go. So it's what one tomato plant, and that's really no good at all for what I want. I'm looking for something about a meter, round about a meter long, meter wide, something in that area. So we'll see if there's anything. I can see one there, £29, which is, that seems actually promising, that one there. So that's 155, you know, a meter and a half long. So that's by 80 centimeters. That seems all right, actually. $7.99 delivery, I noticed, but $29.99. And yep, there's a video there. So I think actually this could possibly be the one. You know, £29, not really anything to kind of worry about. You know, if you're doing raised beds, if you're trying raised beds, I think it all seems, yeah, I think that seems quite possible. Let's add this to basket. There it is. There she was, the cheapest raised bed on Amazon. First impressions is actually a little bit longer than what I thought, to be honest. Right, let's get in the car. Just noticed that as I'm putting in the car. It's a bit disappointing. Never mind. So that is going to be the place. It's the only place. Everywhere else, as I mentioned, is taken up by beds. And there's two reasons why. First reason is it's the only place. The second reason is if it isn't that good of a bed and you don't get what you only get what you pay for, then I can add a little bit more and make it into a slightly bigger bed. First of all, just need to get rid of them little bits and pieces. Then I think it's probably best to build it first. Then, as you can see, I've got like plastic membrane, weed membrane down. Put it on, cut out the weed membrane, dig it over a little bit. There we go, that's what you get in the pack, and each one has two. So at this moment I'm not 100% sure how I put it up. Yes, it slots together, but I'm not sure the little thin bits. I'll have to just have a little look. There was no instructions that came with it. Obviously they just take it that you know how to do this. Right, well, obviously I need the instructions. I've just found that, you know, for the price on the Amazon website, there's actually a little video. So the very thin ones are your first base rail to go down. Right, there we go. So what I've noticed, and you know, that's not a big deal, but what you don't get for your £29 is screws. So luckily I have got some screws, drill, and if worse comes to worse, circular saw. So I think it's time to start putting this up. So that's the size. There you go. Which, to be honest though, I was going to say a little bit too small, but in raised beds, that's a great reach. So you don't want a raised bed. The main thing is too wide, because then you're reaching over. So at the moment that's all right, but look, those joints are pretty nice and tight. The wood swells a little bit, and can you see it's only a couple of mils off. It's worked out. You know, that's quite nice. I'm guessing I will put a few little screws in later, but that's the size I need to think about when I'm building it up. Keep a little path on that side. So it's going to break my heart, but now I'm going to dig down and cut away the membrane. For this you need a mat for the knees, and the best tool garden I can have, link in the description, a hori knife, Japanese garden tool. Absolutely fantastic. There we go. What I'm going to do is just get a little fork and just fork that over a little bit, because it's had a couple of years of the membrane down and trampling on. I mean, it's not rock hard, and it was a good part of the plot before it became a path. First little mistake, got to bring out the hammer, and I'll show you why. So I squashed the rails right down to each other, where it's obvious it's all square. These need to sit there, and there's not much in the way of space, so I'm just going to have to bring that up a little bit so this one can sink down. Now, I seem to be hitting some sort of strange little wall here, not in the physical terms, in the mental terms of getting this built. Now, I've went back to the video, and if you look at it on the video on the Amazon, the front section has slots, gaps, where you can turn this wood sideways, and I presume having vegetables growing out and hanging out, if that's what you want. But I'm after really a solid base, you know, a solid surround. So the best I think I can do is just have a gap there, you know. But that also means there's a gap on that side as well. I'm not sure if this bed's trying to be more than what it really should be. Four sides, you know, 10, 12 inches high. Well, I've looked numerous times at the video, and that's how it goes, but they're all on one side, but I don't want, you know, so I'm just going to have to kind of get it as tight as I can in that position, and I'll shunt it up to this actual beam here, which is support, which will stop it going out that way, and we've just got the one going out. Right, it's time to fill it up. I don't want to put nails in. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm quite happy with the joints sealing. But what I am going to do, because I don't want it to go the way they've kind of said, I don't mind the gap on that side, but I'm not going to stain it. It's treated wood there. I'm not going to stain it. I do stain these ones and I don't put plastic in, but I stain them. But what I'm going to do is just run this. This is the sheet that I got from the ground. I'm going to just run it along that side. I don't want, because it'll just encourage weeds to grow through, never mind plants. Time to hit the compost bin and get some compost out. Now, one thing I'll have to watch out for is, because I'm not used to, and it just all depends what you're used to. My beds are kind of big, thick iron bit. I can use the beds to, you know, tip over the compost that I'm bringing in. that might not take the weight. Who knows? So I've just got to be a little bit more careful, because it all might just fall. There we go. There we go then. Complete. The cheapest bed, raised bed on Amazon. So, cost £29. It took about an hour. It probably took another 10 minutes to work out this gap system. Now, like I mentioned before, you either want that or you don't. I didn't want it, and I think it's trying to be something that it's not meant to be. Do you know what I mean? If it was just a nice straightforward sided up, it would be ideal. But for £29, it took us an hour to put it up, 4 wheelbarrows of compost in. Would I get some more? Me, possibly not. And it's just purely because I've got the big raised beds. What they're going for as well is you can keep on adding up. Now, I'm not sure what it would be like if it was, say, 3 foot tall, full of compost. You might have to put some braces in, but it's getting the compost in, which these are a little bit flimsy. But for just starting off, for trying raised beds, an hour's little work, four bags of compost, wheelbarrow loads, I don't think it can go wrong, to be honest. £29. You know, I'll not tell you how much, you know, these beds cost. I built them myself, and there was over weeks. So if you want to go, there's a link in. If you want to get this little bed, try it out. Look after yourselves, take good care.